Hey, and welcome. While we read about actually two things today, we're going to be reading about the Seneca Falls Convention, which was the start of women's suffrage movement. So the start of women trying to get the right to vote as a much larger scale. We're also going to be reading about the Declaration of Sentiments, which was a famous document for women's rights. So Seneca Falls, it was a meeting. They met July 19th, 1848 until July 20th, 1848. This first convening of women in the United States is considered to be the beginning of women's suffrage movement in the United States. The event was held in Elizabeth Cady Stanton's hometown of Seneca Falls, New York, and was organized by Lucretia Mott, Elizabeth Cady Stanton herself, and several other women. The first day of the event was open to women only. The second day, men were allowed to join in. The Declaration of Sentiments, which was modeled after the Declaration of Independence, was read and adopted at the convention. Following the convention, annual meetings were held to continue the work of advocating for women's rights. So, the Declaration of Sentiments was originally published July 20th, 1848. So the Declaration of Sentiments and Grievances, also known as the Declaration of Rights and Sentiments, is a document signed by 68 women and 32 men, 100 of some 300 attendees at the first Women's Rights Convention to be organized by women, the Seneca Falls Convention. Held at Seneca Falls, New York, the convention is now known as the Seneca Falls Convention. The principal author, the primary author of the Declaration, was Elizabeth Cady Stanton, who modeled it upon the United States Declaration of Independence. She was a key organizer of the convention along with Lucretia Coffin Mott and Martha Coffin Wright. According to the North Star, which was published by Frederick Douglass, whose attendance at the convention and support of the Declaration helped pass the resolutions put forward, he said that the document was the, quote, grand movement for attaining the civil, social, political, and religious rights of women. The Declaration of Sentiments caused much controversy. Many people respected the courage and abilities behind the drafting of the document, but were unwilling to abandon their morals. At a time where temperance, trying to get rid of alcohol consumption, and female property rights were major issues, a lot of places women weren't even allowed to own land. Many thought that suffrage, the right to vote, might get in the way. So saying, how about first we get the right to own land, which is very much tied to the ability to make your own money and make your own living. Let's take care of that first and then worry about the right to vote. It was a large number of the arguments against it. But it does go down in history as a very important event. So this is basically these two things. It's basically the birthplace of modern feminism. Hopefully you're learning and hopefully you are having fun.